Hello, I'm Mona Lucia. I'm a tarot and Reiki practitioner here in Middle Georgia. If you like my videos, please remember to like and subscribe. You can also check me out at monalucia.com. Thanks for joining me today. I hope everyone is doing fantastic and doing their best to survive out in this craziness that's going on in the world at this time. Before we get into the video today, I just want to say that I had the best yoga session ever this morning. I'm trying to dedicate myself to health at this very time in my life, and I have been practicing yoga now on and off for a year. I go to homegrown yoga here in town, and I love Rachel's classes. She's awesome. I do recommend that if you're looking for good yoga classes to attend, that you check out homegrown yoga. The vibe there is just awesome. I love it. So today in this video, we're going to be discussing health. Usually when we think of health, we tend to only think about our physical health. We fail to realize that we're more than just this physical body that we're in. People fail to realize that we are actually multidimensional creatures. There's a complexity to every individual. There's our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health. So we can see how many levels there are that is connected to what makes the whole of a person. So we can go ahead and assume that we're being affected on other levels than just the physical. Lately, I have been studying Egyptian mysticism. The Egyptians believe that when a person was born, they were created in a very complex and intricate way, that each human being was created with many, many layers. For each physical aspect of the person, there was a correspondence in the metaphysical realm. Each one of these layers carried its own role in what makes up the whole of a person. They describe these aspects in beautiful, symbolic ways. First, Khat, which is the physical, that represents the physical body, our actual vessel in this world. Then there's Ka, the vital life force, like the breath of spirit that animates the body. Ba, the soul, our personality and individuality, unique to each and every one of us. And Ankh, which is like Ankh without the N, is a transfigured spirit, our eternal luminous self that is connected to the divine. Then there's Ren, the sacred name, the vibration of our essence, that each one of us was born with a secret name that was exclusively given to us. Shiat, the shadow, ever present, reminding us that even our darkness is part of who we are. I know in my last video I discussed the human shadow, so we can say that this is what that is. They believe that our shadows were also seen as protection. They also believe that true health meant honoring and balancing all of these aspects. For example, if Ka, the life force, was weak, vitality would fade. If Ba, our soul essence, was ignored, life would feel empty. And if the Shiat, our shadow, was denied, the person was never truly whole. This holistic wisdom reminds us that when we care for our health, it's not just about food, exercise, or even stress management. It's about tending to the unseen layers, the shadow, the soul, the spirit, so that all of the parts of what makes the whole of a person are aligned. Have you ever felt fatigued or a feeling of overall malaise? Maybe you were so drained that you couldn't even get out of bed to get to work. Maybe you felt nauseous all the time. Maybe your back hurt. Maybe you ached all over or kept getting migraines on a daily basis, only to go to the doctor for them to tell you that you were completely healthy and that they couldn't find anything wrong with you on a physical level. I do believe that when this happens, like it does for many people, this means that somewhere one of your layers is out of balance or multiple layers are out of balance. We could also correspond this to the chakra system that is in the body, the meridian points, the chakra system. And this is what I actually work with and try to align when I'm doing a Reiki session for someone. So this means that if you are out of alignment somewhere and it's not detectable from a physical point of view, then we can assume that something in the spiritual realm is definitely off for the individual in the metaphysical. Some examples of why we could be out of alignment could be emotional stress that we've stored in our bodies for years and years and years. Living in toxic environments, family environments, unresolved trauma, chronic anxiety, or even subtle imbalances in our energy fields can silently wear the physical body down over a period of time. When the mind is overactive, carrying worry or fear, it can exhaust the body. When emotions are trapped, repressed, or ignored, they can manifest as physical symptoms. And when our energy, the life force that flows through us, is blocked or depleted, it can actually leave us feeling physically ill without any identifiable cause. Recognizing that our well being is multi layered is the first step toward true healing. Taking care of the physical body alone is not enough. We must remember to nourish the emotional, clear the mental clutter, and restore the flow of energy. Only then can we truly feel vitality in our bodies, clarity in our minds, and peace in our hearts. So, in my last video, I discussed how many people wear masks and live out of alignment from their true authenticity. They try to be and appear as something they are not. As you can see today, many people live inauthentically. Not only do they abuse the opportunity of living in their authenticity, but they also abuse their bodies. And this will have an effect in the ethereal or the metaphysical realm. I see it every day. I'll give you some specific examples, some of which I've already lived and had to learn the hard way. So I'm by no means judging. I'm using these examples, so hopefully I'll be able to answer some questions people have, but fail to see the scotoma that's preventing them from seeing the light, so they are able to free themselves for the burden of living inauthentically or out of alignment. So let's take, for example, that married couple that stays together out of desperation. They cling to the cover and safety of marriage, but deep down inside, both are unhappy and feel like they're missing something out of life. While on the outside, everyone thinks they're the perfect couple. They always post happy pics on social media. They go to their local church. They participate in community events. The truth: one never wanted kids. Now, they can't get a divorce because how could one or the other afford this big, nice home they bought in the suburbs or risk paying child support for one or more kids? One is secretly having an affair unbeknownst to the other spouse. Meanwhile, the other one overextends themselves so they can feel like they're living up to the standard of the other. One secretly struggles with substance abuse to suppress the raging emotions, just waiting on the surface to be released. The other struggles with their own vices just to keep the demons at bay a little longer. They couldn't risk asking for a divorce or get a divorce because what would their family or their church think? And the list goes on. So they push on to try to keep up appearances, putting their overall health and happiness at risks. And folks, to think this is a majority of how people live in 2025. And I know this because I used to live this for almost 13 years of my life. And let me tell you, I was in the worst physical shape of my life during this time period. From heart issues to chronic back pain, I stayed at the doctor's office. And guess what? They never could find anything wrong with me on a physical level. Little did I know, but thank God I'm aware now, that what was occurring was a result of me living out of alignment with my highest self, choosing to stay in a toxic home environment, choosing material possessions over freedom, all because I wanted to keep the label of being a good wife, a good mom, a good person, a self-sacrificing person. And guess what? None of that mattered. I was trying to wear these masks all to keep up a fake facade so that others could accept me. Meanwhile, I was breaking down physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. After that, I vowed to always be true to myself, to never betray myself. So, okay. There are other examples of living out of alignment. This could include staying friends with toxic people who add no value to your life, only drama and headache. They say that you are the sum of the people you hang out with. I'll be honest with you all, since I've started on my journey, I could count on one hand my true friends and not even use all 5 fingers. Let's just say, sometimes deciding to better yourself looks like isolation and solitude, and you must be okay with that. People will drag you down and get you out of alignment with your highest self if you let them. Another example may be being burdened by material possessions. I know so many people who go to these jobs that require so much from them just to keep the material possessions that they have, the stress they go through just to keep on the payroll, sacrificing who they are just to have nice material things. Let's be honest, we live in a material world. From pop culture to social media, we're influenced to have that. Oh, you must look like this in order to be happy. So people literally break their backs, sacrifice their morals and overall health just to be able to afford a lifestyle that is inauthentic to who they really are or to what their spirit really needs. Don't get me wrong, I still love to shop and get material possessions, but I've learned to know my boundaries over the years. If it's costing me my overall health, having that material thing is not worth it. A lot of people need to get out of this materialistic mindset that's running a lot of our society today. It's really getting out of hand. So, those are just a couple of examples in our society that will affect an individual on all levels of their being. So, your overall health is not just about surviving, it's about becoming radiant, balanced, and aligned with the cosmic order, being aligned with our highest selves. It's living fully, not half asleep, just barely getting by. It's about caring for the layers of self that go unseen but are deeply felt. So, how do we apply this wisdom in our modern lives? It starts with the choices we make daily. We're going to talk about ways that you can care for your vessel on every level. We live in a modern world full of technology, fast food, and constant stimulation, a society that wears us down and creates illusions all around us. What we choose to fill ourselves with daily influences you, programs you, and directly affects your overall health. From the food you eat, the movies you watch, to the music you choose to listen to, everything carries a certain vibration. I am under the belief that music is highly influential to an individual. Its hypnotic vibration programs an individual from the words of the song to the beat. I remember years back, I had to get another Spotify to completely do a 180 on some of the music I used to listen to. It has tremendously changed my life for the better, but I can only speak for myself. A good diet is also important. I remember once someone told me, let your food be your medicine. Food does have a major effect on our bodies. Even scientific research supports the notion that diet plays a crucial role in your overall health. Eating sugar, caffeine, and processed foods was my life more than 3 years back. I can honestly say today that making a more conscious effort of what I eat has dramatically helped my overall health in so many ways. Don't get me wrong, though, I still love my cake and my cookies. So, obviously, nourishing our bodies with good food is essential. The use of drugs and alcohol, what the ancients called pharmakeia, affects us on every level of our being. This is where the word pharmacy comes from. The etymology of the word pharmakeia basically means sorcery, magic, and spiritual deception. On the physical level, substances may numb pain temporarily, but they also weaken the body, damage organs, deplete natural vitality, and cut you off from source. On the emotional level, they often suppress feelings that need to be processed, creating cycles of avoidance and disconnection. Mentally, they cloud judgment, distort perception, and make it harder to face reality with clarity. Spiritually and energetically, substances lower vibration and open doors for darker influences, creating imbalances in the ka, your life force, and distancing us from our highest selves. While some medicines are necessary and even life saving, many substances are a form of spiritual deception, masking symptoms while leaving the root cause actually unresolved. True healing requires conscious awareness and balance, not numbing your body with the use of pharmakeia. Also, just to note, I am not putting plant medicine under the umbrella of pharmakeia. Um, Also, being mindful of the type of environments we choose to engage in or spend time in. People, if you are in a toxic environment, the best thing you can do is leave. Now, I know that people can make excuses all day for why they need to stay. They can't just leave their family, they can't just get a divorce. But basically, the moral of the story is unless you get out of a toxic environment, you do not have the capacity to start healing your overall health. So I'll just put that out of there. So, another way to keep your overall health good is to do not immerse yourself in toxic environments. I will say that I'm glad that I'm at a point in my life where I rarely give second chances. If someone crosses a boundary of mine, disrespects me, or shows me that I cannot trust them, I cut that off immediately. My time and my life is precious, especially my health. And one thing I will not do is have toxic relations with people or be around toxic environments. Hence, that's why I choose to be a loner. I'm much happier. I don't actually recommend it. I'm just saying. Other little things that you can do to boost your overall health is breath work, meditation, yoga, and time in nature to strengthen your life force. Expressing your true essence is very important. Art, writing, music, dance, and any form of self expression keeps your soul, your ba, alive and nourished. Don't hide who you are ever for the comfort of others. I learned this way too late in my life. Also, prayer, meditation, rituals, or simple moments of stillness and gratitude will help your connection to the divine, the eternal spark. Next, watch the words you choose to speak. Um, that's why they call writing out anything spelling. It's actually a spell. Even the words you speak, it's magic. It's spell work. Your words and the vibration behind them and the intention behind them carry vibration. Always speak life over yourself. Affirm your worth and call yourself into alignment with your highest path or your highest self. Guard against labels from others or names others try to project on you that do not reflect your true essence. For me, I am more than any label someone can throw on me. Tarot reader, Reiki practitioner, or even my name, Mona. Those are just little pieces of the whole that is me. I am the sum of all my aspects, just as you are. And when we honor every aspect ourselves, even the darkness, we step into wholeness, vitality, and alignment. Finally, instead of denying your darker aspects, your fears, your wounds, your anger, your pain, bring them into conscious awareness. As I stated before in my last video, shadow work transforms heaviness into wisdom. When you honor your shiut, your shadow, you reclaim your wholeness. Take this as your invitation to start caring for yourself on every level. Begin today, even with small steps. Listen to your body, your mind, and your spirit. Your body always will let you know when something's off. Your health is multidimensional, and your life deserves nothing less than complete alignment. Again, thanks guys for joining me on this video. Don't forget to check me out at monalucia.com. If you did like this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.